So today we're going to be talking about why the formula for circumference, pi times diameter, works. We're going to be doing this by exploring the different measurements of some circles. So in this cylindrical figure, we are going to look at the circle here that I traced, and we are going to look at the diameter, which is the distance across right through the middle first. And if I do that, if I look at the diameter, I would have exactly 15 centimeters. So I'm going to record that thinking. And if I did the circumference and I measured the distance around the figure, which is what circumference is, for some of you that might make you think of perimeter, I would get that I have exactly 46.5 centimeters. So I'm going to record that as well. So this is actually what I did for all three circles. As you can see, these three circles or these three cylindrical figures have different sizes when I recorded or traced around the bottom. But we're going to notice something about the relationship between circumference and the diameter. So I wanted to record the observations in a table here. So we said circle 1 has a diameter of 15 centimeters and a circumference of 46.5 centimeters. Now if I was going to do 46.5 centimeters divided by 15, I would get exactly 3.1. Take a minute and look at this last column, these three numbers. Even though the circles that I measured for the diameter and the circumference are three different sizes, what do you notice about this last column? If you're thinking to yourself, well, they're all about 3, you would be correct. And you're correct because the circumference is always about 3 times the diameter. But wait a second, when I go back to my formula, shouldn't I just see 3 times the diameter? What is this number pi doing here? And the reason why pi is there is because it has an approximate value of 3.14. Now pi is really a number that's non-terminating, that's infinite and goes on forever and ever. And sometimes you can use that button on your calculator, and sometimes we just represent pi as an approximate value of 3.14. So if I did circumference divided by diameter, I would get pi. Just like I did here when I did circumference divided by diameter, I got about 3.14. So this is division, and when I look at this relationship of multiplication, the same thing would happen. I take a number about 3.14 times the diameter, and I should get the circumference. Let's look back to our original example here of the measurements that I physically took of this cylinder. Let's try it. So the circumference should equal pi, we're going to approximate here is 3.14 times the diameter 15. And when I actually multiply this out, I would get that it's 47 1/10 is equal to 3.14 times 15. That's really close to 46 5/10 that I got when I physically measured it. So as you can see, this formula isn't just a random pi times diameter. It means something, that the circumference is always about 3 times the diameter. And that number, about 3 times the diameter, is 3.14, or a number, that's the approximate value, but a number that is non-terminating and goes on forever. So that's where these formulas come from, is because circumference and diameter have a very special relationship.